Hey, 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 welcome, welcome. It's Friday Reads Live. I'm Dee Dee, and we are here to talk about what we're reading today, Friday, this weekend, and sometimes into the following week. So I see you're in the chat. Come on over and talk to us and tell us what you're reading. I'll wait to see if any other people come in, but for the moment, I'll talk a little bit about what I'm reading. And like I said, if you feel like it, then come on over and tell me. Hey, Val, how are you? You made it. Girl, you're back. It's been a while, Val. How are you? Mm, it's been a minute since you've been on. Okay, so the first book I'm reading is this one right here, which is The Potato Factory by Bryce Courtney. I'm not very far in, maybe about, I don't know, 214 pages in. So the little ship hasn't sailed very much, but I am enjoying this one. It's just that I haven't had a lot of time to new contracts, a lot of work. So that's why this is going. But usually when if I sit down and read it, I mean I could probably plug through a good 150 pages, no problem. The next book I'm reading is this one right here, which is The Bondwoman's Narrative. This is what we're reading in the Read So Lit book club that I run over on Patreon. This is by Hannah Graff, edited by Henry Louis Gates Jr. And this is like technically one of the first narratives written by an enslaved woman. And Henry Louis Gates Jr. had purchased this narrative, which was being sold in an auction. And so he wasn't able to be at the auction, so he paid a friend to go and try to get this to buy this narrative, and the friend managed to get the narrative with no problem. So this is what we're reading, and it is turning out to be interesting. A few things that don't really make sense, but other than that, it's still a interesting read. I think we'll have a lot to talk about in the book club. So that's what your girl is reading until the end of the month. This is what I hope to get finished. So let's hear where you guys are. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Share. Birdie, Curtis, happy Friday to all of you. Let's see, Val said, yeah, I have had some, health issues. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm glad you're better. That's wonderful to hear. Currently reading Fundamental. Oh, yeah, this is a book. I don't know. Fundamentally wound up on my long list, Normandy Book Club long list. Fundamentally was on there. And when I was reading what it was about, I was just kind of like, this is like it's all over the place, this description. What is this book really about? I saw somebody make a comment about it on their stories, and they said, like, what is this? So I don't know what that meant, and ask in case I have to read it. But how are you getting along with it, Val? Do you like this book? Do you recommend it? Let us know. Okay, so Birdie says she started Pachinko. Oh, are you reading Pachinko with Nicole? I know she's doing a read along of Pachinko. I read Pachinko. We did that. Michael and Tatiana and I read Pachinko a couple summers ago. And yeah, I don't know. We had very mixed views on it. Actually, with me and Michael. But we Michael and I both gave it like something like a 3 or something like that. But I remember Michael saying he thought that the Apple adaptation was better than the book. So yeah, I haven't seen the Apple adaptation. I just read the book. I feel like the first half of the book is fantastic, and the second half, I don't know, it takes a left, goes somewhere else, and I wasn't really here for it. But yeah, it's about a 3-star for me. How are you getting along with it? Hello, Amala, how are you? Hey, Rosa. Let's see. Teresa says, "Oh my God, you had COVID. Oh, not too bad. Okay. Did you get vaccinated? Because that helps. When you get vaccinated, you don't feel as sick." Okay. Um. Oh, so yeah. So you're reading with Nicole. Very nice. Amalua says reading Yoruba Bay Running. Okay, never heard of this. By B. Bandele and the Bondwoman's Narrative by Hannah Crafts. Okay. Oh, I'm curious to hear where you're going to land as well, Bertie. I can't wait to hear what you think. Because this is a book that when it came out, people were raving about it. It was getting 4 and 5 star ratings everywhere, it seemed like. But as time went on, a lot less. Hey Latrice, how are you? Hope your cough is gone. I'm a little bit, we'll start Casualties of Truth. Yeah, I have that on my list as well. I think I'm gonna probably gear up with that one at some point next month. By Lauren Francis Sharma on Sunday evening. Okay, very nice. Let's see. Nicole said my reading slowed down. Hope I'll be finished book club book before Sunday. I think you'll be finished. It's not very long. I mean, I was reading today. I read half of it today. I read the introduction. I'm going to read the introduction once I finish reading the book. But yeah, it seems to be reading pretty quick actually. Alba says, "Hola everyone. Happy Friday. Reading Dear Haiti of Alain, which is a bittersweet YA. Okay. Starting the Bondwoman's Narrative later. Okay, very nice." Let's see, Curtis said, "Just finished reading The Lion Women of Tehran." Okay. Marjan Kamali. Fantastic book. 1.5 stars. Very nice to hear that. Okay. Currently reading Ricky by Howard Bryant and Take My Hand by Dylan Gonzalez. Yeah, I would like to read Take My Hand before I read Happy Land, which I still have here staring me in the face. I want to read Take My Hand first. Because I've already read. Have you read Curtis? Have you read Winch and Balm? If you have not, I recommend you read those two. They're really good. Because her first book was Winch, second book was Balm. They're two very different types of novels. Because Winch is a novel about slave women that go with their masters to stay in a hotel in this particular place that is literally a river away across from freedom. And it's how these Black enslaved women, how they deal with, the situation they're in. It's really, really good. And then Balm is about, it's like after the Civil War, and the main character is a young woman who has been married off to a Union soldier that she's never really met. And stuff happens. I ain't gonna tell you what else happens. Read the book. It's really good. It's got a little bit of magical realism in it, and it's very good. Let's see. Val said the jury's out at the moment. It's about a woman who goes to Afghanistan to work for the UN to help women in camps who have been radicalized. Okay, and helping to get them back to their respective countries. Wow. Okay. But what's the tone like in the book, Val? Because the description makes the tone of the book feel light, but I wasn't really sure what to think about that. Let's see. Teresa says, yes, I was fat. Okay, yeah, and had all the boosters. Yeah, that's probably it's helping you. Second time having it. Wow. Had it 3 years ago. Okay. Yeah, I only had it once and I don't clearly do not want to have it again. Alba says, love Pachinko the book, not so much the time jumping in the series. I don't think it was a time jumping that got me. It was just how the book was so well centered on certain characters, and then how all of a sudden it centered on completely different characters without actually keeping the other characters that was centrally in the story. It was like they weren't in the story anymore, and I thought that was really odd. But anyway, okay, glad to hear it, Latrice. You're much better now. Yay, Latrice is better. Okay, Birdie says the last thing we surrender, I think, will be your last book from May. Okay, the last thing you surrender, yeah. She said I'll be finishing up Kay's poem collection and Dream Count by Chimamanda. Oh, very nice. Hello, readers gotta read. What you reading? Happy Friday. Rose said reading Milkman by Anna Burns. It's really good about life during the Troubles in Ireland. It reminds me of Baldwin said, "You think your troubles are unprecedented until you read." Exactly. Very, yeah. Milkman is such a good book. I really enjoyed that one. Let's see. The tree said, "I prefer Take My Hand compared to Happy Land." Okay, all right, that's interesting. Okay, and why is that? If you can give it to me without giving me too many spoilers. Nicole said, "I was just watching a video on Tony K. Bambara and Gloria Naylor and their politics that influenced their writing." Yeah, very nice. I've not read either books, but I want. Oh yeah, at some point. Yeah, I definitely recommend you get to Winch and then go to Balm. Nicole said the video is on the Millennials Are Killing Capitalism channel. I don't know that channel. Millennials Are Killing Capitalism. Okay, I'll have to remember that. Albert said, "Oh yes, Kate's book puts the poetry arrived. Yay!" Um, yeah, I mean, um, it's been a minute since I read Tony Cade Bambara. I read what was it called? The Salt Eaters. I read that. Oof, I want to say 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And I interviewed her granddaughter on my IG when it was because Penguin had republished The Salt Eaters. And so they sent me a copy and they wanted me to do an interview with her granddaughter. So I did. I did an interview with her granddaughter. She was very, very sweet, very interesting young woman who does a lot of community work. And The Salt Eaters is really a book about a community, somebody who works in the community, is a community leader to a certain extent, and how her dedication kind of puts her in a bit of strife, like psychologically and physically, because she's giving and giving and giving. She's depleting herself with each action. It's really an interesting novel. It's not an easy novel to read though, because it has a tendency to make you feel a little disorientated, but it's a good novel, and you can hear the message that Tony K. Bambara is trying to evoke in the novel. I liked it. I thought it was very good. It was not an easy read though, but it was very good. Let's see. Readers got to read to finish Shark Teeth by Sherry Winston. Okay, almost done with Black Noir anthology. What kind of anthology is Black Noir? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Hello, Mila Nixon. Welcome. Looks like the author of Take My Hand has a new one out. Yes, Happy Land. Here. This is one I was talking about earlier. Happy Land. But I'm gonna be reading Take My Hand first. Let's see. But I'm waiting to hear what Latrice has to say. Like she said, she preferred Take My Hand to Happy Land. I want to hear why, but we'll see if Latrice can give it to us without too many spoilers. Let's see. Nicole said yes. I didn't know Tony K was an org. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Check out. Oh yeah. Okay. So it's on IG, but oh my god, it was a while ago. It was a while ago. I want to say it was somewhere like around the pandemic or after the pandemic. I'm not sure. But yeah, and her granddaughter's name is Zoe. She's got she's a community organizer as well. She's following the footsteps of her grandmother. Let's see. Hey Margaret, how are you? Bonjour, bonjour. It's raining here in California, so my fingers are dang cold as I type. Oh yeah, okay. Let me see. I just like take my hand better. Okay, all right. You don't have to say why if you can't really express it. Mm, Teresa said take my hand was good, but pissed me off. Yeah, yeah. It's that kind of story though. I don't know. Maybe it's because could it be that the storyline just doesn't get you as much as the storyline of Take My Hand? Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. Um, but as I'm sitting here and I've got the book in my hand, I can't say I've seen anybody really say they like that book or not. I haven't heard anybody say anything about the book. So I don't know. We're gonna see. I just like her writing, and I feel like she's gonna be one of those writers that writes about a different thing, like a completely different book every time. Because if you look at something like Winch, which is very specific, and you move over and you look at something like Bombs, completely different. And then you go to Take My Hand, another completely different book. And this one as well, the because this is about land ownership and African. So I'm thinking she's maybe one of those writers that never writes the same book twice and is really into this idea of writing about totally different things. Oh wait, let's see. Margaret said, anyone planning a fun outing for Independent Bookstore Day? I've been combing my wish list for like for likely finds. Needed update. Okay, needed updating. Okay, cool. I don't know. I personally won't be available because I have my book club on Saturday and I have to work in the morning. So work in the morning, I got my book club in the afternoon. By the time I'm out, nothing is open anymore. So I'm gonna miss it. But what I might do is go online and order from one of my fave independent bookstores in Paris. I'm thinking about the Red Wheelbarrow because I like her little bookshop. Um, which is right near Jardin de Luxembourg. And she is an American lady that runs that bookshop. And I have ordered from her before. I can just call her up and order a book and just send her a check. I think I'm gonna do that since I'm not able to actually go. Let's see. Okay, Mala said, "Oh, sorry, I missed the beginning. I thought Take My Hand was just okay." No, people love Take My Hand. I've not heard a bad word about Take My Hand. Margaret said, I've heard Zadie Smith is like that, totally different from book to book. Yeah, her books are pretty different. The subject matter, I must admit, too. Yeah. Uh, oh, you read The Fraud. You should definitely read White Teeth. Wow, wow, wow. White Teeth is great. Let's see. Tracy said, hey, Tracy, everyone. You're on the move. Okay. So you'll catch a replay, no problem at all. Have a good Friday and an excellent weekend and some good reading, Tracy. Thanks for dropping in. Let's see, Bertie said unintentionally. I think May is going to be reading the recommendations. Oh, for me, somebody reading the Brie of Palace Walk. Yeah, going to check out this small bookstore in Virginia. Oh, very nice. Okay, Bertie said I did pre-order S.A. Cosby's new book, which is called King of Ashes. Ooh, you got a signed book plate. Very nice. Cher said, I've only read two by Zadie Smith, and while they were completely different, they both got the same lackluster 2 stars. Which ones did you read? Because I think the ones I like the most are YT and NW. Those are my tops. Those are my top favorites for the moment. Now I did not find okay, what is that one called? The one that takes place in the university on Beauty. I didn't find that on Beauty struck me as anything special. And it's because I think it's because I have never read Howard's End. And she based that's basically a retelling of Howard's End on Beauty. And I haven't read Howard's End. So I keep saying I'm going to read Howard's End and then reread on Beauty and see if I don't feel about it in a different way. And then I did read that other one, which is called it's the one with the girls. Uh, I can't think of the name of it right now. That book is pretty good actually, but I don't think I love it as much as I loved White Teeth and NW. Because I feel like Zadie Smith has this thing that she does really well. Is I think she is really capable of capturing a character's speech and like their thought pattern, like what they would say and how they would say it. I think she does this so well. You read NW, there's a lot of that going on, and it's pretty brilliant. Same in White Teeth. She's very good at accents and personality and that kind of thing. But yeah, I know a lot of people don't like her writing, but I think she's brilliant with that kind of characterization. She does that really well. I still haven't read The Fraud yet. I need to get Happy Land, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that correction is terrible. It's horrible. The correction on the phone, on the computer, on everything, it just fucking sucks. It's like it doesn't know what to put. And it just puts the most random shit when it does it. I hate it. Let's see. Kay said, "Oh no, I just started." Oh yeah, okay. Chrissy said, "Thank you. Good weekend to you." Let's see. Margaret said, "Okay, wow, cool. Okay, okay." Latrice said, "You may love it, Kay. I just thought it was okay." All right. We just got to read said mystery crime short story. Oh, okay. From Black authors. All right. I did not know. Enjoying reading stories from the early to mid 1900s. Yeah, that's an interesting, rich period. Me and Zadie Smith's just to get on have decided to give her book the pass. Yeah, I mean it's like that. Some authors just don't ring. It's like for me, I don't get along with Zadie Smith. Like you couldn't even pay me $1 million to sit in a room and read any of your books. I was like, I cannot, I cannot. Ali Smith, I cannot. Let's see. Bertie said Howard's in been on my TBR. Yeah, it's been on mine forever since college. I think it's been on mine. I'm not read it, but I as soon as I read Howard's in, I'm gonna circle back on Beauty just to see to make these connections or not because I don't know Howard's in like that. So we're gonna see, but that's definitely what That's what I'm gonna do Howard's in and then circle back on Beauty for sure. Sure said, I haven't read your favorite in on these. I first read a short story collection. Yeah, no, ma'am. Do not read her short story collection. I even when I got that one Grand Union and I trashed it so bad. It was so awful. I was like, I cannot. I don't want to hear from her in her essays and stuff like that. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear straight up fiction. I need a novel from her. So I was quite happy when The Fraud came out. Now I need to read it. Uh, we just got to read said saw the new Howard's Inn adaptation on PBS. Oh, okay. Val said love Howard's Inn. Okay, here we go. Now, am I gonna have to put Howard's Inn on my list before the end of the year? Looks like it. Margaret said, "Oh, you were saying Howard's Inn." I was hearing Howard's Inn. No, Howard's Inn. Um, Cher said, "What I did like about the fraud was MC presents a proper Victorian English lady, but her thought on what she does behind closed doors was more modern. It did not feel out of place, very believable. Because that's what she does the best, I'm telling you. You may not like the trajectory of the storyline that she writes, but the character is very good about getting the essence of the character, in my opinion. Rosa said, I read on Beauty. I liked it, but I need to give White Teeth a second try. White Teeth didn't hold me the first time, but sometimes it's the timing. It is sometimes. I will give White Teeth a second try. Yeah, I feel like it can be the timing for some things. Um, but yeah, on Beauty, a lot of people liked it, even though they didn't read it. I just found it to be, I just felt like there should be more there, and there was something I was missing. And when they said, well, yeah, it's a retelling of Howard's End, and they said it so flippantly, like, duh, you should know it's a retelling of Howard's End. I was like, I did not know. Okay. So I learned something today. And so that's when I said, okay, well, I'll have to make this a thing, read Howard's End, and then follow up with On Beauty. Just gonna read to Jersey Farm. Did you read The American Queen? I think she did read The American Queen. Wondering how the timeline from Happy Land fits in. I know we talked about it briefly a couple of weeks ago. Somebody said, "Oh, it's like," they said it's similar to The American Queen, but we didn't really talk about like that aspect that you're asking. But I think there are people in here who have read the American. I think Kay read The American Queen, and I think Latrice did too. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear what they have to say about the what book do they prefer, Happy Land or The American Queen? It'd be interesting to know because I've not read The American Queen. So there you have it. Mm, but what we can't about is this idea of adapting classics and modernizing them and doing a retelling of classics. If you like that idea or you do not like the idea. Some people have issues with that idea. Kate said read American Queen but just started Happy Land. Oh, okay, all right. You liked it, didn't you, Kay? The American Queen, I believe you liked it. She said read both but honestly can't remember it. American Queen's timeline versus Happy Land. I prefer Happy Land. Okay, so between American Queen and Happy Land, you prefer Happy Land. Okay, that's interesting. All right, that's very interesting. And what about that? There's another one. Let me see if I can figure out what the name of that one is. There's another one where the woman, American Queen, got 3 stars. I feel like got 3.5. Okay, well that's a big difference for me. 3 and 3.5. Hey DL, how are you? DL read American Queen and Happy Land. Prefer Happy Land, but they're two different styles of book. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I thought there are two different styles as well, and I haven't read either one. Interesting. So you really did like Happy Land a lot better than American Queen. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember. Uh, so we'll have to see what people say about it as people start to read it and talk about it more. We'll see what they'll say about Happy Land. Margaret said, reading a whole grab bag, but I'm glad to finally be getting into my climathon read for May, which is poetry slash memoir by Naomi Ortiz about intersection of disability and environmentalism. Okay, that's very interesting. DL said Happy Land is dual time period, which helps if you're more of a contemporary reader. American Queen is pure historical fiction. They don't really compare. Ah, okay. Dual time period. Okay, that's interesting. Hey Celeste, how are you? Oh, you're working. All right, girl. Don't get in trouble now. But if you can, tell us what you're reading. We'd be interested to know. So that's interesting. Dual timeline for Happy Land and pure historical fiction for American Queen. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, but it's also isn't it Happy Land is also told from multiple perspectives. Is American Queen told through multiple perspectives as well? Readers Gotta Read said, I have read The American Queen and loved it. I'm starting Happy Land very soon. Thank you for insights dual timelines. Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at dual timelines, but it really depends on how they work out. Because some dual timelines work really well and others do not. Because you become more interested. The moment you become more interested in one timeline than the other, that's when it's failed, in my. But if it's a dual timeline and you're interested the same in both, then that's pretty done in a successful manner. Let's see. DL said yes. Happy Land is multiple POV. Okay, that's right. American Queen single POV. Okay, now that's interesting too. Teresa said, "Hey Celeste, I made it, but I'm still home. Oh my God, she's still sick. Mm, okay, that's interesting. That's make me want to read Happy Land before I read Take My Hand, but I'm gonna read Take My Hand first. I'm gonna follow the because I like seeing progression of Dolan Perkin Valdez's writing because between Wench and Bomb, you can see there's a jump in her writing. So I'm sure between Bomb and Take My Hand, there's another jump as well. And I like seeing that. I think that's such a great thing to be able to witness as a reader is when there's a writer that you like and you see how much they improve with each book. I love that. So I'm gonna stick to reading Take My Hand first. Um, so I haven't heard anybody say what they think about retellings. Are y'all here for the retellings or not? If you are here for the retellings, can you name any retellings that you liked? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm trying to think there's any that I really like that were retellings because I don't think I've read a ton of them, but um, I think the best retelling that I read was Unforgivable Love by Sophronia Scott, which is a retelling of Dangerous Liaisons. That was that retelling was really good, and it has like a the Unforgivable Love. She sets it during the Harlem Renaissance. Fantastic. All black characters, fantastic. Let's see. Reed said, "Love, take my hand." Teresa, Celeste is feeling better. Cher said, "It's rare with multiple POV novels that all POVs equally hold your interest." Yeah, I agree with that. The Orenda by Joseph. Boyden pulled it off well, I think. Another one pulls it off well is the Poison Side. She does that. Oh, excellent with the POVs in that novel. Nicole said, "Is Linden Hills a retelling is based on Dante's Inferno?" That's what somebody said, but since like I think I read Dante's Inferno once, and I need to read that because it's been a minute. Rosa said, "I think so. Unforgettable Love is my favorite." Yeah, Unforgettable Love. She did a really good job on that as a retelling. But I wasn't mad at her other one either, which was a retelling of Jane Eyre. She did a really good job with that one too. I'm trying to think. There's some other retellings that I have read, maybe that I like, but I gotta think about it. Think about the names. Last retelling. Okay, this is Celeste. Is the last retelling. She had Chloe by Connie Briscoe, and it's a retelling of what? And is Chloe new? Because I don't. Let's see. Connie Briscoe. Connie Briscoe. Okay, Chloe. I see it here. Oh, this came out. This came out this month. Chloe. Oh, it's a retelling of Rebecca. Oh, wow. Okay. Doesn't have very many reviews, so it only has 44 reviews. It's got 3.6 stars. I did not know. Let's see. It's very short though. It's 216 pages. How can it be so short? Wait, let me go back. I have lost track. Okay, so Nicole said she didn't think she read many retellings that she knows of. Cher said haven't read enough retellings to have a strong opinion. Mostly Pride and Prejudice and Beauty and the Beast retellings, which are fun but not favorites. Rita's Gotta Read said, yes, I like them. It's fun to pick out the characters from the original and the representation in the reimagining or telling. Val said, I'm nervous about retellings. I get a little nervous about that too, particularly if I really like what, the classic. Enjoyed Sophronia Scott's Jane Eyre. Yeah, that one is really good. Wild, Beautiful, and Free. That's what it was. And of course, James. Yes, that's a really good one too. Let's see. Alba said Mama Day is sometimes called a Shakespeare retelling, The Tempest. Yeah, this I've heard as well, but it's been so long since I read Mama Day. I need to swing back on that one, but that's what I hear as well. It's a retelling of The Tempest. Teresa said favorite retelling is The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson's a retelling of Carrie. Oh wow, okay. DL said was looking at Chloe, but can't decide if I want to read it. Well, I was kind of anxious to read it. Then when I saw 200 pages, I passed because a retelling of Rebecca is like 400 plus pages. I think it's like 400 and somehow. So I'm like, how are you doing a retelling? It's only 216 pages. I don't know about that. Let's see. Celeste said it is retelling of Rebecca. Can't remember the author. It's fairly new. Yeah, that's Connie Briscoe. Like you said, Chloe, a novel of secrets and lies. Okay. It looks like this. I'll show you. I just wait. Here it is, right here. There you go. That's what the cover looks. There you go. That's what the cover looks like. Chloe. Chloe, a novel of secrets and lies by Connie Briscoe. Bit on the short side, though, in my so listen, I did not love it, but I also did not read Rebecca. Oh yeah, you probably didn't love it because it's too damn short. But you need to read Rebecca because it's good. Definitely read Daphne du Maurier. Daphne du Maurier, that she could write. Read Rebecca. Read My Cousin Rachel. Those are the two that I read that I really enjoyed. I need to get back on the Daphne du Maurier train because I have still a couple left here I could read from her. Nicole said, I thought of reading The Wind Done Gone. Yeah, I've seen that. I might even have a copy of that somewhere. Somebody gave it to me. The Wind Done Gone. Yeah, that's another retelling. But I have not read that one, even though I have a copy of it somewhere. Somebody gave it to me. I might have already given it away for all I know. I think this is it right here. The Wind and Gone by Alice Randall. I can get it like this. Yeah, Alice Randall. The Wind and Gone. Oh, you haven't read Rebecca? Oh my God, you need to read her. That is so. She adds so much into the story. Like there's like all the stuff that isn't said, and all that is said, and the mystery, and the is good, so good. Margaret said, "I bet I've read Returns and not noticed." Yeah, I think everybody's in that boat a little bit. Because the story was just good on its own. I felt out who needs to pay attention all the time. Yeah. Yeah, James is a retelling. Said E.B. Zobi. Oh yeah, E.B. Zoboe did Pride. Was Pride and Prejudice? Yes, I had heard that. But I did not read that. That was not on my list of books to read. Margaret said, I would say so since it's taking a known story and reinterpreting. Yeah. Kay said Rebecca is definitely du Maurier. I read it years ago, but can't tell you what it's about. Oh my God, it's so good. It's about a young woman who marries a man. And when she goes to in the house, there's like that, like his wife takes in this house, even though she's dead. It's that's a good book. That's a real book. So let's say, well, that makes sense. I felt like she could have filled in more blanks and more developed. Now, keep in mind, Rebecca has a lot of mystery around it, but that's a 400 and something page book. It's not a short read, but it's an engrossing read. Rebecca, really, really good. Wait, let me see if I can see how many pages. My copy is at least 400 something pages, from what I remember. Rebecca. Wait, no. Mm, let's see. Rebecca. Yeah, here's like a paperback, 447 pages. This book is long. So I don't know how a girl got 216 pages out of that. She left out a lot of stuff, I think. Um, Well, read Rebecca. You'll love that one. Or even read Cousin Rachel. That one is good too by Maureen. Yeah, you haven't read it yet, but you're going to read it eventually if you want to. JKN, I think I have that one over there. And I have another one called The Scapegoat. Those are the two. And I think I might have one on The Scapegoat, Jamaica Inn, and I have another one by her that I have not read yet. Yes, of course, Chase counts is a retelling. I just recently read Rebecca, so I'm interested in Chloe. Yeah, girl, well, it's a short. Go ahead on it. It's 216 pages. You should be able to finish it probably in one sitting in the afternoon. Um, the Motherless Land, Nikki May, is a Mansfield Park retelling. Okay, got it out from the library, but had to give it back before I got around to reading. Okay, Motherless Land. Now, I have not read Mansfield Park. I just realized I was doing some inventory yesterday and I was thinking, oh, I only have left from Jane Austen to read is um, what's it called? Persuasion. And then when I went over there and looked, gosh, I got Mansfield Park too. So yeah. Mm. Hey Sharon, how are you? Read a series about that is on my TBR. I enjoy her book. Enjoy the book Valhalla. Uh, Rosa said Rebecca is also an example of the house and landscape of the character. Yes, it is. Uh, Alba said White Sargasso. Yes, White Sargasso. See, about birth of the wife that was locked up in Jane Eyre. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Lashonda, how are you? Rebecca gave mood, total mood. Even down to that ending, total mood. Bertie said, I want to do a reread of Jane Eyre and also read Why Sargasso Sea. I read Why Sargasso Sea. Read Jane Eyre 3 times though. Nicole said, was Rebecca inspired by Jane Eyre? No. They're two different, completely different stories. Um, Shonda said, sorry I'm late, got caught on a call, no problem. What are you reading, LaShonda, if you're reading? Latrice says, ads to the TR. Yeah, definitely add. It's good. It's good. Cher said, crazy how the main character, Rebecca, is so memorable, yet she's never named. I know, yeah, that's the thing about it that's really cool. Everything I've read, Daphne du Maurier, yeah, she's a good storyteller. I mean, I was reading what was it, the Cousin Rachel, and I read that and I discovered Chris podcast, and we both just, my goodness, wonderful, wonderful story. Okay, Latrice said, then James is my favorite. Okay. LaShonda said she has Rebecca, hasn't read it yet. Definitely read it. It's good. Val just laughed. No, Jane Austen is no, she's not my favorite, and I'm trying to get the bitch off my shelf. But I mean, every time I read one, I'm not having it. Like I like Pride and Prejudice. I did not like Emma at all. I read last one, which was the one in what is it in the hall, the Mansfield Hall, I think it was. And that one, it was okay. I mean, it was just a lot of it's like a lot of back and forth for nothing. Between for these two to get together. It's just back and forth, the back and forth. It was annoying. But now I have to read one more. I'm just like, oh shit, I got to read one more. Persuasion. I got to read another one. Yeah. Okay. Sharon said currently reading The Handmaid's Tale. Can't wait to watch the movie. Wild book. Yeah, it is wild. It's good though. The Handmaid's Tale is really good. The TV series, it's good to a certain extent. Then it kind of it starts to be develop into something other than the book. Yeah, so she's developing the series more so than following the book. The beginning follows the book though. Um, Margaret said retellings are so fun to discuss. Need to hop off for a sprint. No problem. Happy Friday. Happy Margaret. Thanks for stopping by. We just got to read Persuasion is my Austen favorite. I like second chance romances and the family is messy. Well, I don't know. I have to suck it up and read another one of those Jane Austens. They just get on my nerves. Nicole said I did a Google search and apparently that's a question that people have about Rebecca, but they don't have the same storylines. The storylines are completely different. I don't know. Anyway, that's me. That's my opinion. Um, trying to get the bitch on. Yeah, because I don't really like Jane Austen like that. I really don't. I'm a Bronte girl. Like I don't know. It's too much back and forth. There's always this back and forth, back and forth. It's very fiddly, and this conversation that they do back and forth gets on my nerves. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. Amala says I only have Mansfield Park. Yeah, that's the last one I have to read. It's Mansfield Park and Persuasion, and after that, I can get rid of them all. Um, only have Mansfield Park to read. Yeah, by Jane Austen, but I'm done with Austen for the rest of my life after that. See, you feeling the same way as me. I don't love it. I don't love what she writes. I just don't. I don't love it. Readers gotta read. Val says readers gotta read. Persuasion is her favorite too. Okay, did anybody see the adaptation of Persuasion that Netflix did? They have seen that. Did you think it was good? I'm Melissa. Tired of seeing her on all the classic shelves. Plus, I think I came to Austen early in my late teens, so yeah, enough. Okay, and Celeste definitely was left in the series, and I quit watching. You see, there you go. Well, when old girl started making that money, she, kept writing that series. Albert said, after Emma, I'm done with Austen. Persuasion, I didn't like as a book, but the 1995 adaptation is a comfort movie for me. Okay. Yeah, I didn't like Emma at all. Like Emma, mind your business. This bitch was all over the place. She couldn't mind her business if her life depended on it, Emma. Oh. Let's see. Latrice is laughing at Amala's comment. Latrice said, I have never read a Jane Austen novel and I'm going to keep it that way. I don't think you would like it either because all that piddly back and forth you be doing with her characters, talking about apples falling off trees and shit and all kinds of random conversation. That's about absolutely nothing. Just bug the crap out of me. Bug the crap out of me. I don't like it. Margaret said, "Oh, indeed." I said, "Oh yeah, I did. I got your email. I'm just a little perplexed about the dates, so I'm gonna send you an email response. That's why I haven't sent you a response yet because I'm not sure. Because we usually go away on holiday in August. We're not gone the whole month, but I just don't know if it's gonna be the beginning or the end, or the middle. So I'll send an email back. Don't. I'm working on it. Let's see. Nicole said, I'll just watch some movies based on Austen's books. Yeah, you might get along with that, I guess. I'm a little to Latrice. Yeah, not she. I know she wouldn't like it. I absolutely know she would not be down for no Austen. She might be down for the Brontes, but not for no. I can't see it. Hey, Keisha, how are you? Hello, I'm about to start King of Thorns. But is that fantasy? by Mark Martin. I got to do my hair for this wedding tomorrow. I gave up on braids. Just going to do a ponytail so I have more time to be. Yeah, girl, you ain't braids the night before the wedding. Come on now, put that ponytail on and call it a night. Um, let's see. Birdie said the Netflix adaptation was trash. Oh dear God, it was bad. They made Anne Elliot an alcoholic. Oh damn! I feel like they tried to put persuasion together with the adaptation of Emma Clueless that came out in the 90s. Oh dear God, really, really bad. But if you just didn't work, my favorite adaptation is the TV movie BBC did in 1995, Persuasion. Okay, I remember that. Latrice said, "Yeah, y'all know I'd be pissed. I know you would be. You'd be like, what the heck? What the heck is this I'm reading? Why am I reading this? You would." Latrice, you didn't drop that book so fast. You would not be here. Emma would have gotten on your last nerve. I know it. I know it. You would have not liked Emma. I can tell you that. Uh, okay, Margaret, no problem. Readers gotta read. I have only read three awesome. I watched the TV movies. Love the Hallmark version of Sense and Sensibility with a mostly black cast last year. Okay, interesting. I'm always said I think what's her name? Apple's mom played Emma in one of the adaptations, and I rolled my eyes, and because she made Emma even more insufferable. Ah, yeah, 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 mama. I have to say I adore Jane Austen. Oh my God. Oh, left a lot. Apple's mom. I'm dead. Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah, but Gwyneth Paltrow. Rita's got to read said slower in conversations about apples falling out of fucking trees. Okay, girl. Whatever. Uh, not you remember a child's name. Yeah, I do. I remember the child's name. I can't remember mama's name though. Comes to mind quicker than Gwyneth Paltrow does. I don't know why, but it's like that. Patrice is laughing. I love Wuthering Heights, but I will die on the hill. I got into an argument with a friend. Wuthering Heights is not a romance. It's a fantastic book, but not a romance. It's pretty much a hate novel at this point. I need to reread it because I haven't read it since high school. And when I read it in high school, I did not like it when I read it in high school. But I think I need to reread it. But I think I do want to read some. I want to read some more Broadway. I want to read Shirley, and I want to read what's the other one that I have? I want to read The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. I want to read that, and I can't remember the other one I want to read. What is the other one I want to read? I think about the other name. You never read Wuthering Heights? You should definitely read Wuthering Heights. Nicole said, I want to read Wuthering Heights now that they say Heathcliff is supposed to be night. Okay, they say a lot of things about Heathcliff. But Agnes Grey, yeah, I would like to read Agnes Grey as well. Because I just haven't really gotten into more of them, but those are the kind of novels that I really like. Um, I like those kind of novels. Yeah, you love Pride and Prejudice. It was all right. It was fine, but it's the only one that I feel is fine. All those other ones have just they bored me to tears. Bored me to tears. Albert the Tenant of Wildfell Hall is so good. See, that's the one I might follow up with, eventually. But I have a plan to read Tom Jones first. And I think I'm gonna read Tom Jones more in the summer, I think. It's like 900 pages or something. It's super long, Tom Jones. Amalo said, and there's a really old black and white adaptation. Oh, you loved as a kid. A Pride and Prejudice? Is that what it, yeah, I guess. Hey Billy, happy Friday. What are you reading? How are you? I'm a little sad. I do have a few Brontes on my shelf. Yeah, I got a two. Um, but I can't, it's like you want to read all the classics and yeah, like when you're gonna read all the classics. I started getting through going to my list of Charles Dickens, and then I took a break, which was dumb. I should have never taken a break. Now I got to get back on the horse. So I feel like I'm gonna pull out maybe Dickens here or there, maybe one or two before the end of the year, along with some of the other classics that I have, set up to read. Because I'm reading a bunch of French classics as well, but I wanted to get back into reading my Dickens and then some other ones. Yeah, Picture Door is fantastic. That's a great story. You should wait. Yesterday, I was like, do I really want to start these braids? Girl, no, get a ponytail. You are right. Amalola said, I think I'm going to take a year away and read all classics and come back in a rage. There's so many classics that I want to read that I have not read yet. Oh yeah, and I'm reading another classic. I'm reading this one. I'm reading Clarissa. That's where I am right there. But I'm behind. I'm on page 451, but I'm reading this over the year. So I'm gonna finish it over the year. Let's see. Alba said I also liked Wuthering Heights as a teen. I don't know. It just put me in a rage, that book. And I could not understand why everybody else was loving it. I was like, what's wrong with me? I don't like it. Yeah, the toxicity. Yeah, I think I want to reread it though, because I need to see if I don't see it differently as an older person. Because I was young, I don't know, 13 or something, age. Nicole said, I want to read Orchestra of the Minorities, which is also supposed to be a retelling of the Odyssey. Yes, it is a retelling of the Odyssey, apparently. Yeah. Very deep, that book, apparently. She said, oh, never mind. Audible Origins did a retelling with a full cast, and it was so good. Of what? Of Orchestra of Minorities? Okay. And Val recently saw a national theater play called The Other Bronte Sister. It was so good, all about Anne Bronte and how good her writing is, and how her writing is shadowed by the other two. Yeah, that's interesting. That would be interesting to watch. Billy said, I'm good. How are you? Finished the thing about home this week. Okay, 4 stars. Yay. That's excellent. Sherry said, if you like audiobooks, Charles Dickens, Gerald Dickens, a great great grandson of Charles Dickens, does awesome performances of his books. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Okay. So wait, is he doing the Audible versions, the one that Audible specifically for Dickens? Because what I like is when they do the Dickens novels, and there's it's not one person and all the characters, it's a whole cast of people. So it's just one person, one character, and it comes off like a theater play in your ears. So good. Billy said, and I'm 70% into Isaac's Song. Ooh, nice. By Daniel Black. I'm Lola said, and I have my Marcel Proust. I know. Well done. Now, my dream of Marcel Proust is to get the French version and to get it in these really specific editions that an arm, a leg, and an eyeball, which I don't think I'll ever be able to afford. But your options are beautiful. You got a good deal. Chikoze Obiyama. Okay, okay, so that may be my favorite retelling Okay, so you found that you could see the Odyssey within an old. It's been a minute since I've read the Odyssey. I haven't read it since high school. Ooh, yeah, that was a long time ago. On Audible, I think it's on Audible what Cher is talking about, and I feel like the Audible version has all the different characters and stuff as well. Wait, let's see. Cher said they are on Audible, but I'm not sure if exclusively. Oh, okay. Oh, it's not multicast. Okay. Before doing the audiobooks, Gerald did one man play performances. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Now that's pretty cool. Um, Keisha said one of these days I really want to try reading Moby Dick again. That's another book that's on my classics list I have not read yet. Next time I think I'll try an audiobook along with it. Yeah, maybe do a yeah, because I feel like it helps when you're reading books like certain classes is to have the audio while you're reading the book. It really does help to do immersive reading. Uh, let's see. Once again, now that I think about it, an overture minority. Yeah. I would say, Didi, saw your next French. Yeah, my next French pick is the Rouge et Noir. That's my next one. Another about a young boy trying to get with a rich woman. He ain't got no money, trying to get with these rich women. This is book three. Because we read Bel Ami, and that's what Bel Ami is about. The whole story is around how this young guy he's kind of on the poor side, just got out of the army, and what does he want to do? He wants to get with a rich woman. That's what that one is about. Then we read the Pale Goyo, which in English is Old Oreo, and it had one of the storylines was also the same with a young guy trying to get with a rich woman. And now we're going to be reading Le Rouge et Noir next month, and that's also about a young guy trying to get with a rich woman. So that's a storyline that they love in the first classics. It seems like. So we're gonna see. Although Old Goria was good, that was real good. It was real good. Although it does have some things, but I'll talk about it in my video probably. Let's see. Uh, okay, so Liz says Isaac's song is amazing as well as his interpretation of the movie Sinners. He just blessed. Okay. I'm a little. I haven't read Odyssey in forever. Me neither. I think with me and classics between my mom and secondary school, it may have been a bit too early for some of them. Well, I mean, you obviously were a mature kid, like, and that's probably why you were able to read them and understand them. But, of course, you always interpret things like those kinds of books differently as a younger person than you do an adult woman. Let's see. Yeah, I almost said I haven't read Odyssey in forever. With me, classics between my mom, secondary school, it may have been a bit too much. I want to read with a more adult mind. Yeah, some of them you're gonna have to probably revisit. Amalua says she has the English version of Bellamy. Well, go ahead, girl. It's about that young man trying to get with that rich woman. A mess. But I didn't love it. I think I gave Bellamy 2.5 stars. I did not love it for plenty of reasons, which you can go back and watch my video and you'll hear all about that. Um, I did like Old Gorio. I think I gave it like a 3.5. But damn, one of the longest death scenes I think I've read in a long time. Long, long, long death scene. Let's see. Teresa said, love Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, but have never read Dick. You have not read David Copperfield? Girl, you better get on it. That's definitely one of my faves is David Copperfield. I like David Copperfield, and I also liked The one that I read in school when I was young. Ugh, I can't think of the name now. You definitely have to read David Copperfield. It's such a good book. That's one of the better. That's one of the best ones I think from Dickens. Let's see if I can find the damn book because I can't remember what it's called. There's so many of them. Let me just see. Charles. Ugh. Let's see. Mm, okay, here we go. Um, Great Expectations. That's another one I liked. But David Copperfield is really, really good. So for the moment, I've read The Curiosity Shop, Nicholas Nickleby, which is also really good. David Copperfield, Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, and Great Expectations. But I think I'm going to reread Great Expectations. I haven't read it since I was a kid. But I still have a lot more to read because we've got Bleak House, we've got uh, Martin Schussowitz, we've got Hard Times, The Pickwick Papers, Little Dorrit. Yeah, A Tale of Two Cities. The list is long. I've only read like maybe half the list. uh, Thanks, Rosa. Okay, Rosa says she has to pick an order of minorities. It's on her shelf. Yeah, I need to as well. And Rosa says she wants to read Bleak House. That's also supposed to be one that is that people like a lot. Is Bleak House. Alba said to Rosa, me too, with good audiobook to accompany. Yeah, definitely. Um, Maybe we can do a read along of that, a Bleak House at some point. Read along a Bleak House. How does everybody feel about that? Um, Dombey and Sons. Yeah, that's another one that, yeah, you get on it. She said there's supposed to be another Odyssey adaptation next year by Christopher Nolan. Okay, Tom Holland and Matt Damon and Zendaya. Planning to reread it before it comes out. Okay, I did not know. He said I listened to the new translations of the Odyssey and the Iliad last year, and they were really good, but not everyone though. Okay, why do you say that? Not for everyone though. Latrice said, "Man, I haven't read Dickens since high school." Oh, almost said, "I'm in." Latrice said, "I'll be down for Bleak House." Okay. Brittany said, "I'm in." Alba said, "Yes." Latrice said, "I mean, you know, we're gonna say, I don't know, you gonna say yes or not. You know, I don't know because House is a big old mammoth, 1,000 some other page book. This ain't no light read, you know." Um, let's see. Tashika B says, "Hi, happy Friday, happy Friday." Reading Death of the Author by Nydia Kapoor. Okay. Teresa says she was, oh, you were trying that too? And Rosa, okay. Yeah, they're kind of dense. Yeah, they are. I mean, I think the one of the shorter on the shorter side is Hard Times, and of course, A Christmas Carol. But all the other ones go math books. Um, yeah, Bleak House is a very big book. It's 1,000 about some odd pages. Latrice said, "I can tell y'all I will bail on it, but I'll at least try." I think you might like it because it's supposed to be one of those books. That's supposed to be one of the Dickens books that if you're going to read it, read a Dickens book. That's the one that you should read, apparently, because it's the one that has, that a lot of people have analyzed and discussed. People really they enjoy it, and they're I guess they can they can compare it to life today in some cases. It's one of those books that of Dickens is probably the one that most people want to read at some point, even though it is very long. Um, Albert said, but we already did some mammoths. We can, we did the Count of Monte Cristo, and we did Les Miserables last year. So yeah, we need to get on it. Let's see. Sheriff have already read Bleak House, and it was the first and last. Would love to read hear your rant about it though. Okay. She just said I have to get my you have to get your mind right for the big book. No, I feel like big books, you just have to take it one step at a time. Don't look at where you're going, look at where you are. Focus on where you are first. And as you're focusing on where you are, you'll eventually get to the end of the book. Now, of course, if you're not loving it, then you stop. Give it a go, give it 100 pages, give it 150 pages. If after that you really don't feel like you can do this, then chuck it and get to something else. You don't have to feel compelled to do that if you're not loving it. I mean, I feel like drop it. I'm not one of those people that says because you pick a book you need to read all the way through. No, if you're not feeling it, then dump it. Bernie said, "Love the Good Man book." Yeah, I do too. I like a good big book. Cher said, "Bleak House has been my favorite, but maybe reading it in a group would bring different insights." That's the only good thing I see about reading those kind of books in a group is that you see, different insights. You're reading different ideas and opinions on things. Um, because like when we were reading Les Miserables, there were things that some people liked, other people didn't. But when we talk about it, it's like, oh yeah, I can see that being a really good point, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna say to Birdie, me too. I love long books and I don't rush myself. Yeah. I'm gonna say Lemieux took her almost 3 months. It took us about a month and a half. Um, Birdie said one of my favorite books. Yeah, absolutely. So love a good chunker. There's another one I would like to read as well as Middlemarch. That's another chunker that I would like to read. Um, I'm a little to be. The count reads like a 300 pager. It moves so fast and it's so good. It's the best revenge novel of all time. I totally agree, Cher. Can't get any better than that. So Tashika's like, you want to get in on this? Yeah, she want to get on this Bleak House now. She's like, let me know when you start. Um, yeah, George Eliot, I have not either. Did I read anything about George Eliot? What is that one? Wait, let me see. I think I may have tried to read something by George Eliot and I dipped out. Let me just see if I'm not mistaken. Um, what is that book called? Wait, yes, I did try to read something in our book club. We said, "Oh, let's read a classic," and they picked Mill on the off. Mm-mm. That was nothing cute to read. That was not even good. It was horrible. I did not like it at all. Mill on the Floss was not for me. No, ma'am. That's the only thing I've tried. The only thing that I would like to try is Middlemarch because it is supposed to be one of the more interesting written novels. It's very long, but it's supposed to be one of the best, blah, blah, blah. If it's better than Mill on the Floss, I'm all down for it. But if it's anything close to being Mill on the Floss, I'm out. Did not like it. Um, Teresa said, I love long books too, especially when the story and writing is really good. Yeah, short or long, I can still only read one page at a time. That's all you can do. Rosa said, I like big books in fall and winter. Too much movement in the summer. Yeah, that I can see that. Val said to Alicia, Birdie, George Eliot is fave. My favorite is The Mill on the Floss. That's the one I don't like. I didn't like it. No, no. Curtis said to me, I agree with you about reading big books. As a person who reads many biographies that are really long, I sit up, I have to see, there you go. You my man, okay? And a pages until I complete it. But you must enjoy the book. That's all you're there for. That's all you're down for. Am I enjoying this? Great. Keep on it. I'm not enjoying this. Well, then bug off. Drop it. Drop it. Don't feel like you have to read it if you're not enjoying it. And just focus on where you are, not where you want to be. Because where you want to be is page 1,000 and something. And it's going to take you some time, especially if you're a slower reader. If it takes you more time to read 100 pages, it's going to take you a little longer. It maybe won't take you 1.5 months. It might take you three, but, I feel like this stigma people have against reading something big is y'all got to get over it. Like, get over this. Let's British. I also want to try Elizabeth Gaskell. Yes, I do too. I do have one or two Elizabeth Gaskell. I think I might have Norman South, and I think that's it. Albert said, I love George Eliot, Silas Marner, indeed, Romola, and Middlemarch, and Daniel Deronda. Yeah, but I don't know. I might have to try again. But that Mill on the Floss, that had me sleeping. That had the whole book club sleeping. I don't think there was one person that finished Mill on the Floss. Not one. And they're all British. So that's just to tell you. The Mill on the Floss has all the mess you like. Yeah, well, I think I had to get over the hump of the first page to get to the mess. I don't know. I did not enjoy it. I don't know what it is about it that I didn't enjoy, but I didn't enjoy it. Rosa said to Alba, yes, Silas Marner, I want to read that one. Amalua said to Val, 2 to 2 versus Dee Dee's books that she doesn't like. I know, right? I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Bertie said, people tell me if you like Pride and Prejudice, you'll love North and South. Oh, shit. I mean, I didn't love Pride and Prejudice. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I don't know. We got to see. Alba said to Rosa, and it's short, Rosa. Let's see. Amalola said, I've been collecting the classics. I want to read like Infinity Rings. Okay, so which classics are you doing? The Penguin Black editions? Or are you doing another edition? Which ones are you doing? And Val said yes, and I'm still here. Judy Elizabeth Gaskell is also fab. She was a friend of Charles Dickens. Okay, she a friend of Charles Dickens. She my friend too. We're gonna work this out. We're gonna work it out with Gaskell. We're gonna work Gaskell out. We're gonna try something. And then let's see, Val says have read. Yes, I actually read. It was a long time ago. I would need to reread it. And you say Tess is one of your favorite novels of all time. Well, now I might have to try to go back and swing back and read Tess because I haven't read that in God since high school, even before like the beginning of high school. Rosa said always plus Alva, always a plus. Bernie said, my friend who also loves classics likes, I do remember that with, oh, she started with Cranford. Yeah, okay. I'm a little, I have vintage. I have vintage as well. All of my Charles Dickens are vintage. So they have these really cool modern covers on them with the red spines. Love. Black Spine. Love the Black Spines. New York Review. I don't know the New York Review one. Every Man is awesome. And Oxford. Now, have you seen the new editions from, oh my God, what's it called? You haven't mentioned it there. Is it one called is it Wordsworth? Is that one of the editions that does classics? I think it's Wordsworth that does the new, because there's a classic of a new version of the classic Moby that is beautiful. Um Bye Rosa, have a good weekend. Wordsworth, there you go. They have a beautiful Wordsworth edition of music. Let me see if I can find it on here. They're doing really artsy, cool covers, and I'm kind of liking them, but I still have this affinity love for the black edition or for vintage. But I think when I bought my Charles Dickens ones, I bought them all together. They were all in the same thing. The vintage red spines with the modern covers, and I really like those a lot. Let me just see. Do they have a picture of version of Moby Dick? Because it was absolutely gorgeous. Let me just see. Let's see. I always have to make sure with classics that it's typeface. Yeah, exactly. This is usually pretty good, and they have like little pictures in my editions from Charles Dickens. They have sketches in them and stuff, and I really like that. Let me see if they have it in here. Now, there's another edition as I like is the Penguin English Library edition. Let's see if I can find it. The English Penguin Library edition. I have a couple of those. I actually have two copies of Bleak House. I have the English Penguin edition, and I have the modern vintage edition. Looks like I'm not finding it in here. Let's see. What do I suggest for a first classic big book to read? Um, why don't you go with like with Dickens and go with hmm, go with hmm, I'm torn now. Mm, hmm. Either go with either mm, see that's the I maybe you should go with one that's not as big to start. Because if you go with one that's too big and you've not read any Dickens before, you might get kind of thrown off. Um, Penguin Deluxe. What's Penguin Deluxe look like? I feel like okay. Why don't you go with something that's a little smaller, like Oliver Twist? Let's see, Oliver Twist. How many pages does that have? Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist has 608 pages. Try Oliver Twist and then work your way up. Okay, I'm Lewis is to Birdie and the books. Are you buying them thrifted? Okay. And then Lewis said you might look at the edition you like the best and go straight to the publisher. Yeah. Okay. Alba said I would try French classic first. I prefer them. The French classics are very different. Yeah, for sure. Very, very different kettle of fish. Um, Birdie said when I see them, like one edition is the Barnes and Noble classics. One is of those tiny collectible classics. This is the one with the edges. I find them at my used bookstore a lot. Birdie says my shelves don't have to match anymore, I guess, which is fine. I've gotten older. I've been less stringent with myself. Yeah. You had Deluxe. Oh yeah. I don't know. I glitched when you said Penguin Deluxe. Like what? Yeah, the Penguin Deluxe editions are very pretty. With the French flaps, with the cardboard cover, it's really nice deckled edges. But you have to like deckled edges. I like deckled edges. Um, yeah, I think I would go with Oliver Twist first. With Oliver Twist first. Um, or David Copperfield. But David Copperfield is longer. David Copperfield is 882 pages. So at your own risk, either the 882 or the 620. Yeah. So I'll think about that when we could maybe do a read along of maybe we'll set something up for next year to do uh, a read along of Bleak House. Let's see. Melissa's Oliver Twist is one of my favorite stories from childhood. Yeah, it's done really, really well, that one. Amalissa says she loves the Dodger. Cher said, have a great weekend. Yeah, you too. Have a great one. Happy reading. Yeah, so we'll definitely, have to think about that. But yeah, I feel like whoever that was who said, I think it was Tashiko's like, which one? I would go with Oliver Twist. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. I think it's better to go a little bit, don't go hardcore real quick. All these really, these a lot of pages. 600 and something is already still a lot of pages, but it's still very doable. And the story is great. 608 pages is a lot. It's a lot more doable, and the story is really, really good. And you kind of know the story, or some aspects of the story. You know kind of what it's about. So then it's up to you getting the right edition that you like. If you like the pink black edition, or you prefer the vintage edition with the red spines, or you prefer the Penguin Live edition or the Wordsworth edition. Just pick the edition that you like and go with it with that. Bye bye. Have a good weekend. Bye bye. Okay, so I'm gonna head off as well. It's already 7:30. It's crazy. Alive now. It's 7. I don't know what time it is anymore. This has been fantastic. Great discussing with you guys. And I'll be back next Friday. Bye.